Welcome back to Friday Crypto. Breaking news today. Celsius top three executives cashing out $42 million plus over 42 million before, right? Locking all of our money there. So fantastic news to see that they're doing well. So that's if you didn't know, now you know. Out of CoinDesk. So go check that out if you want to read more about it. But thought that would be interesting. So hopefully the judge really smashes them in the face for that one. So let's get right to it. Let's do a Bitcoin weekly kind of look at a snapshot. We're gonna look at we'll zoom into the daily chart and then look at maybe some things happening with the RSI towards the end. So let's get it going. Thumbs up if you haven't already. So let's get right to it. We're hovering around the 20K level, right? We've been at that since June, right? Over 100 days now. We've been just up and down, kind of finding our equilibrium around the 20K. We're there as of today. We're still there, but some bigger levels, right, to watch. The EMA 8, right, the red line. Currently holding resistance as of last week as well. Even our rallies, the past two rallies, right? The first one from summer rallied all the way up to the purple line. What is that line? I'm glad you asked. The EMA 14, the 14 weekly exponential moving average. And yet again, back in September, the week of September 12th. So what do we have to extrapolate on that data point? Well, we've only had two weekly closes way back in March and the week following, right, our rally to 48K. Those were the only two weekly candles since November, since falling down below it. So keep that in mind. Since November, almost a year, we've only had two weekly closes above the EMA 14. So to make it cookie cutter simple, until we can close above that line, it's going to be difficult for the bulls to really have any massive evidence to do any damage, right? So just make it really simple for you. Until Bitcoin can close above that, we're probably just stuck in jail, right? We're stuck in bear jail. So if you see that happening, right, around 22K, the EMA 14, right, let's just pause and take a breather until that moment happens. We're struggling, right? When that does occur, realize that that's much more significant than just being at 22K or whatever that number tends to be, right? The exact number is 21.7 even, right? That's not that far away. That's what, 10%, not even 10% away, right? 9% from here to get us to that level, which would be very significant. But right, resistance is resistance until it flips to support. So just clear cut as day. Whatever that's not even a thing. But I mean, you could see it, right? You can see all these wicks up here, right? EMA 14 is the flip bull level to do damage, right? It's not even to, full bull run or anything like that. No, baby steps, right? The biggest step the bulls can do first is closing above the EMA 14. Only two weekly closes since last November. So until that happens, just be patient, right? That's the biggest step, right? But on the bigger trend, right, we have this fall down. We're making lower highs, we're making lower lows. Now that may seem counterintuitive to some people, but that is actually what you'd want to see to form a bottom, right? We're coming down here, and to make it a little bit more simple, right, just put it to a line chart. Then you can draw your trend lines, right? And then it becomes really easy to see, right? We're potentially trying to break out of that, but until we can, close above 22K, right? That would take out this high. That would take out the EMA 14, right? This might be the beginnings of it, but don't get too far ahead of yourself yet. We have not closed. The weekly candle closes in 3 days, 8 hours. So that is what I'd be watching for, at that moment. Let's zoom into the daily and see if we can get anything else out of it. Let's restructure our zoom here, right? So the daily, what are we looking like here, right? We're hoping that this, well, if you're a bull, right? If you're a bear and you want, 10K, then you're hoping this pattern doesn't play out. But we're looking at a potential double bottom. We won't know if it is until we reach a new high and we take this out, right? I would like to take this out. That closed, right, 24.6, might as well round it up to 25K, which will likely also be the 200-day EMA at that point, right? You could see it kind of moseying its way down here. But that would kind of line up, maybe sometime move in, late October, early November, if we can get out there. that wouldn't be the only thing that we got going though, right? We'd also take out the 100-day EMA. We'd also take out this local top here, right, that we formed, a couple weeks ago, mid-September. And then not only that, but let me clear this up. And we would also be potentially forming this kind of macro bullish kind of W pattern, right? This would be huge. This would be a big win for the bulls if we can do this, right? Then not only that, but if you zoom in, right, you can also see another like W. So we got a couple clues here going for the bulls, but nothing concrete to play out just yet. But potential is starting to run rampant, right? But we want to wait for big key levels. We want to break, 22.5. That's our next line in the sand. Probably going to be around, 22K for the EMA 100. Watch that guy. That's what I'll be watching for the next, several days to several weeks. 22.5 and then 25K, right? Those are our big two bull break levels. So you got to give some credit to the bulls if they can get up here, 22.5. And then really the floodgates have the potential to open much wider if we can break above 25K. Then this would start to confirm this W pattern. So we got Papa W and Baby W, as cheesy as that sounded. All right, so that's that. We'll try to keep this a little bit shorter. Bitcoin RSI, as promised here, looking at this on the weekly chart to separate bull and bear markets, right? It's really pretty clear cut, right? I've talked about this in a lot of other videos for years now, going all the way back to 500 videos ago. We were looking at this on the RSI. On the weekly chart, really you got to be above 53 to get into a bull market again. So are we close to that now? Hell no, right? We're down in the 30s, but I draw your attention to this other key level, right? What last bear market? 2018, right? Look at this level right here, around 37, and look at how it struggled initially after hitting it. And look at this bear market. Look how we've pressed below, right? We've gotten pretty low on the weekly RSI, under 30 even back then and even now. And now look at the level we're struggling with, the same level that we struggled with back in 2018, right before we broke through it and had our summer bubble. Are we going to have another summer bubble? Probably not. At least not the same timing wise, right? If we break through it, though, you got to recognize that this is a support and resistance level that we held in 2022, and we're now trying to flip that as support. So we really need to break up here over the next handful of weeks. October's historically been a pretty good month for Bitcoin, so we'll see if we get that, right? Ideally, we want to see us break through here and, maybe find some resistance up at this kind of level. And then when we come back, we would need to hold that and then bounce again, right? Or just, unlikely that this move is going to occur again, but, anything's possible. Ideally, just, for stair-stepping up the stairs, stair-stepping up the stairs, what a concept. We have to break above it, hold it as support, right? It's not enough to just come here and then give it right back, right? That will be a huge warning sign that we need to be watching for. So over the next couple weeks, that's what I would like you to be watching, that not a lot of people will be watching. So there you go. Now you know. Car quote of the day. Let's do it. Go check out that article first, too. If you have any money in Celsius, just crazy, right? If you don't know and you're watching this far, I assume you know. But all of my money is there in Celsius. So obviously that's my fault for putting everything in there, but I assume a lot of people will have a lot of money in there, if not everything, like me. So, yeah, 5 years saving up, it's all there. So quote of the day: everything in your life, speaking of, everything in your life is a reflection of choices you've made. You can't make this shit up. If you want different results, make different choices. Don't put all your eggs in Celsius, you mother. So car of the day. I didn't plan that. Ferrari 458 Speciale. So the 458 Ferraris are great. The Speciale is my favorite Ferrari under $1 million, hands down. This is it. They're about 400 or 500K. I think you can find them for. If you find a real rare one, we can get up in 600K. But for about $500,000, there's very few cars I'd rather have than that one. It's certainly my favorite one under for that price range. Obviously, the LaFerraris are great, but $4 million. What? This is probably my choice all around, hands down, day or night. A lot of different stuff on this one versus the regular 458, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, all right. Hopefully, you found this somewhat interesting. If you're watching this far still, what else we got? Leave me a comment below if you want to see something else. 0 new subscribers in the past 2 months, so we're doing great. Keep on trucking. They'll never come.